Cause how you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been known to wear the team on my back like a biker. Shorty want me with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We tryna get your head chopped. The whole club yelling. Everybody.
Here we go. Victor Formation 5 podcast, man. We here with Eddie. Eddie, how you feeling?
Doing all right. You know what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome.
It's all good in the hood. Episode 15. You know how we do. Off season. Free agency is slowing down to a crawl, but we're still a month away from the draft, so it's like a little dead area right here. So, man, nobody's been kidnapped or murdered. Diddy escaped. He flew to the Bahamas, so I think that's the biggest news right now.
You know, I just read something like all morning. I was like, "Oh wow, Diddy took off," and like that's crazy. They're gonna find, and then I saw another article that showed TMZ saw Diddy in Florida, and so they're like, Diddy didn't fly to the Bahamas. His plane did with everything that he wanted to hide.
Yeah.
I was like,
with all the documents or whatever. But
crazy.
He's staying in Miami to get that expensive plastic surgery so he can look like somebody else. He'll come back looking like Kevin Hart.
You know what? I saw somebody say today. They showed a preview. They played a little. It takes his take that to a whole different level. right.
Oh man, he can do like Face Off, that movie. I love that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
Man, I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Sean
I could
Archer,
eat it.
Castor Troy.
I could eat a peach for hours. Hell yeah.
Stay away from downtown. It's gonna get a little smoggy.
That's a good one.
Man, why do I remember that? I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years, and I still remember that.
Because
how good it is.
John Travolta and Nicolas Cage is like they were
top of their game when they made that movie. They're at the top of their game. But anyway, so nice segue into some cowboy news. Let me see what we got going on.
Zero good news.
Yeah. So the biggest thing right now is just popped up today.
I don't want to talk about it.
We got to talk about it. The people want to know.
You got to put on some sad music in the background or something, because
some violins.
This is some BS. Man.
This is, but apparently they've come to an understanding that they're going to let Dak ride it out, and it's $59.5 million cap hit, and that's why. And I'm guessing that's why they decided not to sign anybody after his all-in statement. And I guess they decided we're not going to do that. I don't know what Dak's number was and their number. Maybe they were too far off. And they're like, you know what? We'll just let you play out this last year. But what do you think about that? What do you think? Is that a good move, bad move, dumb move, smart move?
It's worst case scenario from what we were talking about. This whole situation. It's like everything that we were telling everybody. Don't worry, we're not going to do this. Is exactly what we did.
Exactly. It shocked me because I remember us talking on here when the season was over. We talked about it here in the Discord. He said the same thing. First thing first. Sign Dak to an extension, get some money so we can start signing players, so we can get the correct players. Like it was a foregone conclusion. In our brains, we were like, he's getting signed. It's just a matter of what week he's getting signed before free agency starts. And they just did a 180. I don't know if.
I think we have theories on why and everything, but ultimately, I mean the dominoes fell today. Is the situation is now we allowed Dak to play out that season for 2024 without any recourse, right, at all.
Anything.
I've
never heard of this. Yeah, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say he has a no trade clause, so we can't trade him midseason or anything. But he's gonna play it out for however much he's making next year. I know everybody's gonna be screaming, he's making $60 million. No, he's not making $60 million. We've already talked about this, but
detail.
But the fact that we're allowing him to kind of make this a contract season, he might have a great season. If he has a great season, then we priced ourselves out, and we're not going to afford him next year.
Yeah, and then we crap the bed. But I've never seen this situation. I've been watching football since 1992. I don't ever remember a situation like this where, now, say what you want about Dak. I mean, you can hate him, you can love him, but consensus is he's a top 10 quarterback. Now, a few people think he's top 5. I'm one of the people who thinks he's top 5. Some people say, no, he's not top 5. But nobody can say he's outside the top 10.
Yeah,
And
it's
be a
really
serious
weak.
fan.
Weak
Yeah.
arguments when they say he's not type 5.
Yeah,
They'll
and
come
be a
in with
serious
like a
fan.
Josh Allen type of quarterback that is
Exactly.
hasn't done any more than Dak has. It just doesn't.
Yeah, the Herberts or the Lawrences. But anyway,
Yeah.
but that's another a podcast for another day. But I've never seen a situation where a top 10 quarterback, and he could possibly enter the top 5. He was in MVP discussion for most of the year last year. And I wouldn't have been surprised if he had won. I wouldn't have been like, man, he shouldn't have won. But if he had won, I wouldn't have been surprised. But he's going into the season, and like you said, nothing to hold him here. Like, what if he goes out as a great year and they win the Super Bowl? 2 lame duck players, him and McCarthy, decide, you know what? We're going all in. We're going out with a bang. And they win the Super Bowl. They have nothing to keep him here except literally sliding the checkbook over to his agent and say, write a number down and then let him come play for us. That's the only thing they can do. So I don't know if they're hoping that he sucks or they're hoping he gets injured or something to where they can justify not extending him. But yeah, but like you said, he's not getting paid $60 million. That's just his cap hit. His salary is $29 million.
It's just.
But
I said worst case scenario because, we all want the Cowboys to do well next year, but if he does well, then he's gone. If he doesn't do well, he's gone. There's no situation I see where he says, okay, let's run it back. For what?
For what? Yeah. Because McCarthy's not going to be here next year either way. I'm saying the only way they keep those guys is if they win the Super Bowl. And if they win the Super Bowl, they're still gone. They're like, man, I'm out of here. Y'all didn't believe in me to give me an extension. I'm out.
Yeah.
And my worst fear is he goes to the Giants or the Washington C words. But you know what? But if he goes to them, then I know he's not going to win the Super Bowl. So but I want him to go to a team where he actually can win, so they can see kind of like how DeMarcus Ware left. Boom, won a Super Bowl. Other players left. Boom, won Super Bowls. And it's like, our guys just can't do it here. But man, I hate to say it, but I think this is last year, so he needs to go Super Saiyan or Kaiser Soze or whatever they call it, and just go release the Kraken with Rico Dowdle by his side, I guess.
All that did for me is give me the feeling of 24 is not all in at all, even a little bit. It was all for 25, 100%.
Yep, 100%. And so
we're gonna have a huge cap. We'll have a huge cap after that, but we'll still have to eat some of his salary too. In 25, we'll still be paying for. That's ridiculous.
So what do you think about? There were a set of tweets out there. I don't know how to say his last name. Joey Ickes, Joey Icks, Joey Ikes, whatever, however you say his last name. But he has some pretty interesting tweets talking about why he believes the Cowboys aren't spenders in free agency. If you look at it, we signed 3 players: the long snapper, Rico Dowdle. I'm sorry, 4. Eric Kendricks, and then Jordan Lewis. Those are only 4 players we signed this offseason. None of them are considered blue chippers, all in, anything. Out of all those players, none of them were on our series we did a few weeks ago about who we wanted.
Kendricks was.
Eric Kendricks, maybe. Because we said he was a Zimmer person and we needed somebody in to do it. So he was on there. But other than that, none of the players we re-signed were one. Except for Jordan Lewis. Man, we knew he was coming back. He's our favorite player. But so it's like no moves after this all-in statement. And it's like, so if you haven't read the tweets, look him up. He has a thread. And his assertion is that the Jones family runs this team like a portfolio, like a business portfolio. Not as a team that, hey, we're trying to win. As a team that we're trying to make as much money out of this team. What can we do to make as much money out of this team as possible whilst, limiting our costs? And so he said that they have 9 pieces of their portfolio. They have this thing called a family office. If you don't know what a family office is, it's what rich people really do. They have a family office, and each one of the family runs different parts of the business, and that's how it's a rich person thing. And so the Cowboys are like the crown jewel in that family office. And so they just took $100 million out of their portfolio and put it in some energy company. Yeah, in an energy company. And that was the money they could have used to pay players, because in the NFL it's different. You can't live off credit. You got to have a certain amount of money in escrow to pay your players. So you got to have $100 to $200 million in a bank somewhere to pay players their salaries or whatever. So it's kind of a different business when it comes to that. So because of that, they can't really pull money out of the Dallas Cowboys. They can pull money out of other places and put it in there, but because he gave it to that energy company, he doesn't have the money to sign anybody. And that's why I believe he started off saying they were all in, because he really did believe that. But then when they had this business opportunity and they realized, shoot, we need this money for something else. Forget that. We're going to do the basic minimum at this point and use that money for something else. And it really makes you think, do they run this as a team or do they run it as a business? What do you think?
So, well, you're the one that sent that over to me, and I started following it, and it was, I took it when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this is just another excuse for why we're not going all in and everything. But it got really interesting. I got really deep and went through kind of into this cowboy rabbit hole where it all of a sudden things started clicking and the puzzle pieces started fitting. It was, you think of the Jones family, they own this multi-billion-dollar franchise, and you think of it as this is their main business, and it is not their main business at all.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
They have what you called, like what you said, a portfolio of there's
just the most profitable
number of really profitable companies, and they all are under this umbrella that the Jones run, and the whole family it runs this together. And depending on what year and the way that the market is, is going to determine where the money's going. And it just happened to be that the best investment this year for the Jones was to put more into that energy company. That's what the algorithms said. This is what you need to do for your maximum potential this year. You are right. You need to have the funds available to pay the players, but that $100 million was not. I mean, you still have to have the cap to be able to do it. So they still had to do some maneuvering of the cap to be able to spend that cash that they have. But the cash was available. I mean, they're not cash. The Jones family is not sitting around saying, "I wish we had $20 million to spend." They have a huge account of money. It's just that we don't have the cap, and they're not focusing on improving the finances of the Cowboys right this second. It's not. They are not. It doesn't make financial sense for them, is what I read, and that really, like I said, it all the pieces start coming together, because now you see that why the Cowboys couldn't afford to spend the money on Tyrone. We couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I mean, if you're following, you saw how much money we would have had to spend for that our nose tackle that with the Seattle. I mean, his salary is like $1.4 million with a $500,000 signing bonus, or $300,000 signing bonus, or some shit like that. We couldn't spend that because they don't have that cash available in the wallet.
And they don't.
It's amazing. It makes me angry because I can tell you this right now. Howie Roseman was not sitting in a room in Philadelphia arguing with the owners about where their money's going, if it's going to go to their energy company or their volunteer. They're not. All that money's going to their players to make their team better. Yeah. Ours isn't. Ours is run like a business, and I'm fucking pissed.
Me too. It's like at this point, like you can tell in the 90s, it was all about winning. They said, I was reading up on this too. I did a deep dive like you did, and they said that when Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys, this is one of the biggest gambles in sports history. Like he really put his money behind this team. Yep. Like people would get loans and go to banks. He had to use all of his money to buy this team, and if it failed, he would literally be broke. Yep. That's the gamble he took, and he made it into what it is. So I mean, he's a good businessman. But at this point now, back then it was all about winning, because that's how he knew it would make it more profitable. At this point, he doesn't care about, like, he cares about being profitable more than winning. He doesn't need to win to be profitable. As we can see, the last 30 years, he hasn't won a championship, and he's still the most valuable franchise in the world. Just not in football, in the world, in any sports franchise. So I think he realized a while ago, I don't have to win a Super Bowl to make a crap ton of money. And I think that's when he started just focusing on, how can I get richer? How can I make the teams around me make more money so I can get it in there? And I really think that's what he is. I didn't want to believe it, but after this year and that type of stuff, I'm like you. The moves he made in the past, the pieces start falling into the puzzle. Like, man, that doesn't make any sense. Why would he do that?
You also have to think this too. And a picture just came out the other day of Jerry. I don't know where he was. Some meetings. I don't think it was the owner meetings, because he wasn't. Was he at the owner meeting? Anyways, that tweet came out where it showed what Jerry was doing on his little pad of paper, and he was just scribbling. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I mean, I'm old school, so when I'm talking and somebody's talking to me, I'm also writing stuff down, or I'm scribbling. I'm drawing designs, because I'm trying to understand what I'm reading or being told. So my brain I'm being creative on the piece of paper. So yeah, I don't think that he's delusional and drawing while people are talking. But again, Jerry's just the face of the franchise now. I really don't think Jerry's making decisions. Jerry is, I don't think he is either, because he's always been the face of the Cowboys. Everybody behind him is making all the financial decisions, and Steven is the one. And I mean, you and I read that same thing. Steven's the one that went to school for this. Steven is the brains behind the finances of the Jones family. So
I don't think he has like we got to win football games at all costs mentality.
I want to make as much.
We got to make as much money as possible mentality, and it's like in his brain, it's like, just as long as we're good enough to stay relevant, like that's good enough for him.
Think about it.
Like,
you're the son. He probably didn't really have to ever want for anything ever, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but I'm the type of person that you have to go through some shit to be competitive in life. You really do, because you need to want it. You've never. I just don't think that Steven has the competitiveness that Jerry did. Jerry came into this industry and everybody told him, "What did you just do?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, let me show you."
When they called him dumb, yeah. I'm like, because think about it. Whenever you see any kind of sports movie, who always is the most successful? It's never the rich kid from the suburbs that has two parents at home. Yeah, it's not the rich kid from the suburbs that has that parents have enough money for him to play every single sport. Those kids don't usually make it to the pros. It's the single mom that grew up super poor, and the kid knows, man, if I don't make it, we're not getting out of here, and that drives them.
Yeah, that's the old you better have a jump shot or a good rap.
Something, yeah. And so that's why they have, because a lot of people that have that drive, they got to have it in them. It's very few people that have that in them. Like, and it's kind of a weird thing, but like, I'm not a huge Kobe fan, but I'm a Kobe fan. He actually grew up with, pretty good money because his dad played in the NBA. So he's not one of the poor ones I said coming up, but that insane drive inside of him that him and Michael Jordan have, you can't teach that. You can't give that to somebody. Like, because these are the people who, when the season is over, 2 weeks after the season is over, they're in the gym working out 4 or 5 hours, doing a new jump shot, adding a new move. Like, you can't teach that. That's just something that has to be in you. And it's the same thing with Stephen Jones, I think. It's one of those things where you can't make him care about the Cowboys like the fans do. Like, we're like, you know what? We're going all in this year. We might suck 2 years from now, kind of like how the Rams did, where they went all in, but they still kind of bounced back. But to him, it's like, oh, no, I don't want to do that because I got to think about the financial ramifications, when most fans are like, oh, man, financial ramifications be damned. We're trying to win the Super Bowl.
Think about that,
I don't think he has that mentality.
It's like, we're going to kind of go through what the Rams went through, but we didn't go all in.
Without winning the Super Bowl, without even getting to the Super Bowl.
But I mean, we drafted well, and
they won one.
We drafted well, and then we have to pay really good players well. So that's what happened, to be honest. But it sucked.
And I think we lucked out on that. Like, if we didn't have Will McClay drafting very well, we would be what the Commanders are right now, because our draft would suck and our free agency would suck. But because we draft well, is why we're still good, because we still have Dak, we still have
our players.
Lamb, we still have Parsons.
I mean, like
Washington, we still have Diggs.
Washington, they draft really high a lot, but those rookie contracts, they leave afterwards. We re-sign them.
Or don't even finish it.
Yeah.
Chase Young is gone. Montez Sweat.
That whole D-line was gone last year. That was funny. Like, they had one of the best D-lines, and then all of a sudden they're like, no.
It's all gone. Kirk Cousins left. Like, all their good players left because they just don't take care of them. So it's like, oh, man, we're just... so, man, we're going to have to see what they do, man. We're going to have to see what they do.
There was some new Cowboy news that popped up today that I had no idea about that kind of frustrates me as well. I don't know if this was publicized. I don't remember hearing it, but do you remember hearing that Mozzie had a shoulder injury that he had to have surgery on at the very end of the year?
Yeah, never heard
And
that.
now we knew that
Never heard
Maker, he had an injury. He didn't know and he needed surgery for it.
Yeah.
But both
didn't know that either.
Both had surgery at the very end of the year, the very beginning of the offseason. Mozzie's is 4 to 6 months before he can start rehab.
And that's crazy. Oh, man, he didn't need to miss any time. I know everybody.
Think about that for a second. That's 4 to 6 months.
Let's see, what is it? March. So
I mean, that's right for
April, May, June, July.
It's right for camp.
So that's July at a minimum.
It's
July at a minimum.
Slides right into camp. But think about it.
Yeah.
Do you think that any of the players realistically are going to take March until July off right now? Like, off of working out?
No.
Off of technique? Off of anything? No.
You can't. Like, you even if you wanted to, you can't, because then you wouldn't be good enough to play when OTAs and stuff
I just cannot believe that. I when I saw that today, I was like, wait, what? So we didn't go after any D linemen to help with that situation? We even let our good ones go?
This is starting to be depressing. Let's talk about some NFL news. I'm so sad right now. So the big thing in the NFL is the new kickoff. You seen that? They stealing more ideas from the XFL.
Well, that's the XFL is the for the league. I mean, everything is tried out there first. That was the whole point.
They tried out there. So for the people who don't know, the new kickoff, before we would be on this 30, they would be on that 30, you'd kick off. As soon as they kicked, everybody would run. By the time he caught it, they'll be there. No, enough of that. They want to make more kickoffs. There weren't enough kickoffs in their estimation. So now everybody's going to be on the other side of the field at the 30-yard line. And once they kick off, the kicker's going to be way back there by himself. He's going to kick it off. Nobody can move until the ball hits the ground or the guy catches the ball. Then everybody can start running, and that's how they're going to do it. So Turpin might become a very valuable player for us this year based off of that. Because he's very shifty, and that could help. Instead of those long, those people who are good in straight lines, you don't have to do that because they're so close now. Everybody's right there. You got to be able to juke and find a gap. Like a running back would probably be a good kickoff returner now.
Yeah, the whole point of this is it's eliminating the 40 yards of sprinting of giant human beings and then crashing into each other. All
crashing into each other.
So they line up. They're going to line up 10 yards apart from each other. The offense on the 30 and the defense on the 40. I think it might be 5 yards either. Yeah,
it's somewhere around the 30-yard line.
It is receiving different because watching the XFL and how they did it, watching a little bit of things this morning, it's weird because the kickoff goes up and they just sit and they watch the ball. They can't move, and then the player will catch it. The ball has to go past the 20.
Yeah, has to go past the 20. That's a weird wrinkle to me. I've never seen a kickoff
I said that to somebody today when they said that, and then I showed them a clip, and the ball literally was caught on the 15. Because I was like, "How?" I was like, I've never seen that, but I think it's because people, the kickers are kicking it a little bit higher. But the whole point of this is,
and for some reason, if it doesn't go to the 20, then they get the ball at the 40-yard line. The 40-yard line. So it's like you have to get it past the 20 now. So it's like it's not even an issue. It's kind of like kicking it out of bounds.
I know a lot of people are saying we try these things out for a year and they might go back, but I don't see a reason why we need to go back to these people, the car crashes.
It's a very boring, nondescript.
And it's
plus they said that scoring was down.
It's because
and they're trying to raise scoring.
They instituted the rule where you can fair catch it anywhere you want and go to the 25. That's why there was less.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. I mean, if I'm going to get to the 25, why would I run it and get tackled if the ball's going to go to the 25 anyways? I'm just going to fair catch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
in my brain,
strange rule. It's a strange rule. I got to see it in person to understand all the nuances.
What about the?
I'm pretty sure.
What about the other rule that was changed too today?
Oh, they
hip drop
moved the. Oh yeah, the hip drop. So it's two more rules. So they moved the
trade deadline.
Deadline
on a week,
one more week, and then the hip drop.
Ninth week.
Yeah. So week 9.
Which I didn't even think about it. Like when I saw it, I was like, yeah, whatever. That doesn't affect me. But I don't know how much that's going to affect the game. Moving
yeah, me neither. So we'll see.
We'll do a little bit more research on that. But the one that I really love is the hip drop. Now everybody's complaining about, why don't we just what did I see? The oldest Watt, what's his name? The one that's retired.
Oh, JJ Watt.
He tweeted, well, might as well put the flags, the belt with the flags on it, which is ridiculous. Anybody that has played football knows how to do a hip drop tackle. And I'll explain it pretty simple. You can go watch the highlights of the Cowboys-Lions game last year because their DN did it to Dak twice in the same series.
Twice. Yeah.
Now, so a hip drop does not have to be behind somebody. Usually, basically what it is you're tackling somebody and you hold on to them and then you drop all your weight down and swing your momentum to the side.
Yeah.
That's an easily way.
Take your feet from under you. You kick your feet out.
Think about the science to this move. You're grabbing them and then you're letting everything that you have drop at the same time. That's basically going to cripple that. I mean, that's going to pull that person down from behind, right? Yeah. You could do it from the front too, and we saw that against Dak, and it's really freaking dangerous. But people are saying, okay, now it's going to be flag football. Anybody that's played this game knows how to make this tackle. It's dangerous. And in practice, your coach has probably yelled at you to never do that again in practice.
Against their own teammates, yeah.
And when you tackle somebody and they're on the ground and you're holding on to their ankle, coaches will always blow the whistle in practice and say, let go of his ankle.
Stop.
It's that and the drop. So anybody that's saying, you're weakening the game, you're not. It's the mentality. You're not. You just cannot actually make that tackle. You have to let go.
It's not a natural tackle. You have to intentionally do it. It's kind of like in basketball. You used to be able to clothesline somebody coming down the lane. And we used to love it back in the day. The Knicks and the Heat, and they used to kill people. Yeah. But then after a while, star players are out for 3 to 4 weeks because they have dislocated shoulders and all kind of stuff. And you're like, why is Jordan not playing? It's like because you were cheering the clothesline that they did 3 weeks ago against Detroit. And so it's like, I understand the old school stuff, but some stuff you can do away with some stuff and still keep the integrity and excitement of the game. And this is
not like this is a safety hitting a receiver and getting a flag because the receiver wasn't ready for the hit. Like that's BS.
Yeah, I know. Like that's crazy to me. You coming across the middle and I'm running full speed. That's normal, especially because they give him a flag if I hit him with the
blindside block,
his shoulder. That's still a flag.
The blindside block is the one that drives me insane. Like you just took it, but
that's crazy.
That is, I'm glad that they took it out because I don't think that there is another team that's been affected so drastically than the Cowboys.
They did the same thing with the horse collar.
Well,
it's the same
that was
thing.
Against the Cowboys
the
because our boy was doing it all the time. But like
Roy Williams was hurting people left and right, and when T.O. got hurt,
think about the drop tackle injury list. Alan Hearns, it ended his career, and he was really good on that team.
He hasn't been back since.
It ended that season. He wasn't the same for about a year and a half. Pollard, lost
Pollard against San Francisco, yeah.
the step, and he's not,
Hadn't been the same since.
it's not a safe tackle, and whoever's complaining about the loss of this, you're just trying to find things to complain about.
Yeah, forget those guys. They don't know what they're talking about. So
there was also another change to what was the other rule change? Shoot, I forgot what it was. It was pretty good. I'll think about it. I'll bring it back up in just a second.
Oh, okay. Other than that, only the big news I know is Aaron Donald retired. He was pretty good. I liked Aaron Donald. Definitely first ballot Hall of Famer. He was a menace to everybody. He could change games. I like watching him play. He was just relentless, crazy, strong. I think he was like Tyron Smith, playing a position where you're not supposed to have 6-pack of abs, but he still had 6-pack of abs. He was built like a tank.
When I think of Aaron Donald, I think of two things. I think of the fight that he got in with Connor during our off season.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And I think of the fight that he got into against I forgot who it was, like the following year, where he took his helmet off and smashed that dude.
Yeah. It was dragging him by his helmet.
Yeah, in the head with his helmet and didn't even get in trouble because it was the off season.
Exactly, because
he didn't get suspended. He didn't get nothing.
We were saying how Myles Garrett did the same thing, but he missed Mason Rudolph, and he still got in trouble, but nothing happened to Donald. He's just that good.
The thing about
stuff
Mason
like that
was really scary because he did hit him in the. He didn't even have a helmet on. Donald hit the dude. He took his own helmet off and hit the dude in the helmet. And it literally was like, don't.
That's crazy. All right, so let's go on to now that we're at the bottom of the barrel, free agents. Is there anybody out there, that you still think we should get?
There's a handful
just one name
of running backs. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, J.K. Dobbins, they're all still there.
Yeah. Dobbins. That Cook is out there. Zeke's still out there. Cam Akers.
But why? Why would they spend money on anybody right now? Why?
Because they gave $100 million to an energy company.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense on why you would bring in players right now. You're trying to.
Yeah,
you're letting everybody play out. They'll probably just fill roles.
Yeah, like as injuries happen, they'll sign people. I think,
and nobody really big. It won't be big contracts.
What really shocked me is 19 quarterbacks got signed this offseason. 19 of them. That's a lot of quarterbacks. But yeah, I didn't really see anybody who I just felt like, man, we got to get that guy that's left. Other than that, Jeff Swaim is still out there. We can bring him back.
You're talking about
Chidobe Awuzie is out there.
I mean, there's some players out there. There's some D linemen.
One name I saw was Trey Turner. Man, I wanted Trey Turner so bad. He went to LSU. I went to LSU. When it was time for him to draft him, I wanted to get him, but the Panthers got him. And then there was a couple times he was in trade rumors to the Cowboys. We never did get him. And then now we have, Zach, and then we have Tyler. So I was like, that's a pipe dream now.
I couldn't believe that. I still can't believe that Gallup isn't signed yet. And I know that he's probably just done one or two meetings, but
yeah,
I figured that
at this point now, a lot of teams are doing let's see who we draft first, and then if we can't get our holes filled in the draft, then we will sign these guys. Plus a lot of these guys are veterans, and they don't want to show up until training camp. After training camp, that's when they're trying to show up.
Stephon Gilmore still out there.
Yeah, he's still out there.
I heard today that he's going to go to the Panthers.
Yeah, I saw that. The Panthers can have him. I'm glad they got J.C. Horn, and that made us get Parsons, because I haven't heard anything great about J.C. Horn. I've heard a lot about Patrick Surtain, but J.C. Horn was supposed to be even better than Surtain, but
his injury,
and we would have got one of them, and they went 8 and 9 right before us, and then we traded back to 12 and got Parsons. So it worked out.
Frustrating time of year, but
that's pretty good.
It's
man.
It's get more exciting in the next couple of years.
All this bad
in the next couple of weeks.
I think I got a bottle of Patron still in there. All this depressing news between Dak. I need to go take a couple shots because I'm sad. I'm about to go all in on this Patron bottle.
That's funny. I like that. Gonna go on. That's the new thing. It's just go all in when you don't mean it.
but I think we can stop right here. So next time we're gonna start. It's April, so we're gonna start our draft series. This is where your boy Eddie really shines. He's like Rain Man with the draft. He's good at that. He sucks at everything else. He doesn't have any social skills, but he can draft.
He lives in the closet, scared of the sun, but he can.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely a good player. He's definitely a good player. That's how.
I'll make sure that I bring it next week with some with that.
You will. So he'll be taking over because he's the draft guru. I'll just be following his lead. I'll see what I can do. I'll try and cheat and copy as many people like my hero Mel Kiper. Just mimic what he has to say because he's a smart draft guy.
That's all it is. It's just one.
Yeah, we only got to hit one to get that several $1 million check next year from ESPN. So that's all I got to do. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do starting next week. We're gonna start looking at different, do first round, second round. Just break it up, and then by the time right before the draft, we'll do probably have a special guest on. I don't know, but we'll do a mock draft.
It'll be fun.
See how we do it.
I love these things.
Yeah, if anybody has a login to that PFT mock draft thing where we can get past round 4 for without having to pay, y'all let us know.
We can do it. I can't wait. Because that's my I'm on those mock drafts every day, at least 4 or 5 of them a day, just to play around to see what we can do. So we'll make it fun. Yeah.
So now that Dak is playing it out, what's the chances of the Cowboys making a splash, trading into the top 10 to get a big time quarterback?
We're gonna have to talk about that because that's definitely something that
would be lunacy.
I don't think that'll happen. But again, 2020.
We didn't think that they weren't going to not sign Dak either.
If you think about it, the 2025 QB draft class is hot garbage.
That's what I've been hearing.
Serious,
that it's terrible.
You
need to get a quarterback this year.
I mean, the only QB,
whatever year that was, that
maybe. And I mean, he won 4 games last year.
Whatever year was that? Last year when it was Patrick Willis and Pickett who went to the Steelers. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks worth taking.
Oh,
that year was terrible.
The guy that got drafted by the
when it was Willis who went to the Titans.
So where the hell is that guy?
He went to the Titans and then
he just disappeared.
He's still there, but they drafted Will Levis from Kentucky, and now he might even play.
The other guy now.
They might release him, and then Kenny Pickett on the Steelers. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks that were worth anything in that draft. That's what they're saying about next year. So everybody who needs a quarterback is really going to try and make some moves to get one.
Dak has a good year next year. Is it going to be a vet quarterback market? Because there's not going to be anybody worth
next year is going to be,
and all the big, all the QB needy teams are going to say
big names.
Look, the Cowboys fucked up. Let's pick up Dak.
As long as they don't bring in Daniel Jones or Hurts whenever he gets released next year,
watch Daniel Jones have a 1.5 years next year. Watch.
Man, he will. I can see it, but we'll see. But anyway, well, all right, man. We'll see y'all next time. That's
yes, sir.
End it right here, and we'll start some draft stuff next week.
Exciting. Hey,
all right, let's go.
You know what it is. DC for life. We love you guys. Say, hug your family. Hug your family. Hug your kids.
Maybe for the last year. That's right. Take care of them. All right, we'll see you.
Cause how you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been known to wear the team on my back like a biker. Shorty won't be with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We tryna get your head chopped. The whole club yelling. Everybody.